Hi everyone, today is Tuesday, October 7th. I don't know why I can never remember the stupid date whenever I start these things. But my name is Michelle and I have breast cancer and this is my journey. Thank you for stopping by and listening and watching and supporting, or thank you if this is your first time catching my video. Maybe go back and check a few because there's a lot of other story that I'm not going to be going into now, but there's other details in previous videos that might be of interest to you. So today I just wanted to drop a quick video because there was just a couple of updates. So I did yesterday decide to do the cold cap for my chemotherapy. And the cold cap is meant to be put on your head. And it's exactly like what it sounds like. It is a very, very cold, like freezing cold mechanism that you put on your head to cool your follicles down from chemotherapy to prevent hair loss. Which, you know, you can see I got a lot of hair, so I got, you know, I could probably spare to lose some, but I don't want to lose any, you know. So the intention is that it's supposed to reduce the amount of hair loss, and apparently it works better on blondes. Which I know this is not my natural blonde, but I am a natural blonde. The eyebrows are natural. See, that's my color. It's like a dark blonde. Anyway, it's the it is so hopefully it'll work on me. The only thing, and the reason that I waited so long, my chemo starts on Thursday, and I just decided yesterday to do it. And the reason why I decided to was basically the cost compared to the possible effectiveness of it. And because it's not covered by insurance. I did do some research, and many of the companies that sell these products do offer some sort of reimbursement, some sort of financial assistance, so I'm definitely going to be looking into that. But I don't get it's an after the fact kind of thing, so it would be like a reimbursement, so you have to buy the equipment ahead of time and then potentially get reimbursed if you qualify afterwards. So I've been back and forth debating whether or not it was worth it compared to the percentage, the possible percentage of losing my hair, the possible percentage of not losing it with the cold cap. And yesterday I sat and I took a really long, hard look at the medications and everything and all the side effects. And, you know, hair loss it's really one of the top ones that's on there, one of the top side effects. And, you know, in some ways it could be good because it is full body hair loss, right? So maybe I'll lose my little chin stubble. Maybe I'll lose my leg hair. I mean, if I lose my eyebrows, I mean, that would be unfortunate, but I can always paint those in pretty good with the makeup brush. But losing the hair, you know, it's a big deal. So I really didn't want to take that chance. But the cost, it is quite expensive. Especially when you're someone like me, when you're living paycheck to paycheck and, you know, barely making things meet at that. It's pretty darn expensive. The initial, you have to purchase the equipment. So that's a one-time cost that goes out. And, excuse me, and then you also have to purchase these cards that when you go to the facility to get the chemo, you give the card to the medical staff that's there. They plug it into a machine. It's a whole process, and I'll learn more about this on Thursday when I go through it. But, you know, I had to purchase the equipment. I had to purchase the initial card. And then each time that I do a treatment, I have to purchase an additional card at that point. So getting the initial setup was about $600. For me, it was about $630 because I waited so long. I had to do overnight delivery in order to get it here in time for Thursday, because you have to do it with your first chemo treatment, and it can't be subsequent ones. It has to be the first one. So we did pay a little bit extra for the overnight shipping. The only reason that I was able to do it is that I have one of my very, very good friends that I have mentioned on here time and time again has been there for me even before this breast cancer situation, has helped me out in several really, really difficult times where it was a choice of, you know, getting one of my cats the care they needed, or getting my brakes done on my car. They were very considerate in helping me different times, and just said to another friend earlier, by the time all is said and done, I'm just going to sign my house over to them, because that's probably what it's going to be equal to after all this. But throughout this breast cancer journey, she has not only given me mental and emotional support, also physical support just by being here and helping me with things, but also has, helped me get through a couple of hurdles. And this is one of those hurdles, the cold cap. So I reached out to her yesterday. By now, I'm sure maybe you know, maybe you don't know. It's my friend Melissa. And I reached out and I was like, because I couldn't afford it. There's no way I could afford it. If I was on my own, I couldn't do it. Just end of conversation. But I reached out to her, and I asked if she would be able, or, and willing to help me get through this portion of it. And her response was, "I am so glad you asked." So it's through her help that I'm able to get this done. And it really is incredibly unfortunate that this is even a situation, because neither the cold cap nor, I didn't even mention that there are other things that the nurse recommended to get, which are cold gloves and cold socks to prevent neuropathy, which is a very common side effect also from chemo, where you start losing feeling in your fingers because of, I guess, I'm not 100% certain how the chemo works. What I understand is it's almost, this is going to sound so stupid, but it's almost like being in a microwave, where it heats up your atoms, or it activates your atoms to a point where they're heated, and they're generating heat, and they're generating, and the idea is that type of situation cancer cells can't live in. I don't know. I'm probably explaining that all wrong, but that's the way I understand it. And you wind up, that's why you lose your hair, because it so overheats that the follicles just don't know what to do. And that's what the cold cap does. It mitigates that heat. And the same thing in your hands, that you start to get neuropathy, because your nerve endings, everything is overheating because of this chemo that's in your body. So these gloves and these socks and this cap are to help reduce the temperature in your extremities to prevent those sorts of symptoms. None of it is covered by health insurance. So, you, as a patient, you take a choice. You have a choice to make. You either accept that, you're going to be without hair, potentially lose all your hair, or lose the type of hair that you had. I know people who had curly hair and went through chemo, it grew back in straight. Had straight hair, it grew back in curly. I don't know what's going to happen with me. You can see what I'm working with. It's this, curly, oftentimes frizzy mass of just hair. So who knows what's going to happen, and hopefully this cold cap will work. But so that's the choice. You either, instead, for some people it's not a choice, because they just don't have the money to do it. I didn't have the money to do it, but my good friend Melissa was able to help me out with that, and the gratitude goes way above and beyond anything I could even say. So, yeah. So I just wanted to drop a quick video about that. I did also pick up my prescription meds today, so that includes the steroids and the anti-nausea pills. So the steroids I'm supposed to take tomorrow. So tomorrow, as in the day before the chemo, Thursday the day of chemo, and then Friday the day after chemo. And I have 2 different types of anti-nausea pills, and I'm going to have, I need a refresher with the nurse, because she had said specific ones, like take XYZ pill first as your first line of defense, and then if that doesn't work, then move on to PDQ pill, whichever one it is. And I don't remember which was which, so I have to verify that. But I do also get, as part of the IV treatment, anti-nausea meds with the actual treatment itself. So that's that. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on and talk about those couple of things, but mostly the cold cap. And I will have to adjust the time of my appointment due to that, because it actually adds another 2 to 3 hours. I've heard some people say 2 hours. I've heard some people say 4 hours. Let's split the difference and call it 3 to the overall treatment. So the chemo itself is about 4 hours. This cold cap is an additional 2 hours, 3 hours on top of that. So I'm going to be there for the entire day on Thursday. So it's going to be a long day. Hopefully, I didn't even look at the gloves. I actually should take them out of the box. Hopefully I'll still have use of my fingers, because I'd like to be able to get some reading done, get some work done on my computer, get some writing done maybe if I can. Maybe do a video or two. We'll see how the day goes, see how I feel. But that's it. And again, I'm rambling. So that's it for today. All right. Thanks, guys.